Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second Zoom meeting. This is May the 11th, and we're having a huddle up. We all need this kind of support every week, and I'm glad you're here to help me. I hope all of you had a happy Mother's Day, whether you spent time with your mother or whether you are a mother and you spent time with your children or grandchildren. Had a wonderful day, and I'm going to post some pictures on Facebook. So if you're not my Facebook friend, invite me to be your friend so that you can see the pictures of my two sons and my grandchildren. First, I want to review a couple of major points from last week's Huddle Up. First thing I want to remind you about is that we talked a little bit about the importance of recording a weekly weigh-in, and then we also had some discussion on the board about people who like to weigh in every day and people who like to weigh in only once a week, and the pros and cons of both ones. I think we're pretty secure about that. We know the dangers of weighing in every day, but some of us like to do it anyway, and that's fine. The main thing is that we have a good habit of keeping an accountability of our weight so that we are able to see, like we talked last week, about a trend developing. And as long as even if we maybe go up or down, like if you're a daily weigher and you feel yourself tracking upward and up and down and up and down, as long as that it's trending downward, that's what we're looking for. I think it's important to keep a record or a journal. I have a little piece of 3x5 note card that once a week on the weigh day, I put down the date and my weight and my inches. And I just do a couple of inches because the areas, I know I'm not going to have any chance with my legs. I mean, forget it. I'm going to always have big legs. But I do my waist and my abdomen and my bust line. Not the bust part, but under the bust. Those are the only three measurements that I take. Because really the part of fat that kills us is that abdominal weight, that adipose that's in our middle from the bust line down to our belly. That's where all of our internal organs are, and that's the fat that we really need to be most concerned about. So those are the ones that I measure. And as long as I've seen that trend going down, even if it's only a quarter of an inch, I'm going to be tickled to death because I'm on the right trend. I think it's real good to journal. The second thing that we talked about last week was we discussed the question, what is your why? And we talked about that quite a bit. I hope you wrote down your why. And I want to challenge you, if you have not written it down on paper, I want you to do that. I actually wrote down my why and I posted it inside my medicine cabinet that I have to open every day. So it's hidden, but it's up there so that every time I open that medicine cabinet to get my toothpaste or to get a pill out or whatever, I can look at that and be remembered. It's like just a visual reminder to help me focus on what my why is. We also discussed last week the importance of a vision board. Where you write, you cut out pictures of things that you want to do or want to be or want to accomplish. So I think I want to ask you right now, all five of you that are online right now, and Mary, if you found your unmute button, you're still showing muted on my screen, but I think it's something you can correct if you can look around on your computer and find it. But did any of you happen to make a vision board this week? Debbie, did you make one?
No.
Okay, do you know what a vision board is? You weren't here last week.
I saw the video that the girl did.
Okay.
Where
you find pictures either of yourself as, a part in your life when things were really, really good, when you were active, when you were in a weight that you want to be, or maybe if you've never been there, you look at something that you want to be, like if you want to ski or you want to run in a 5K or ride a bicycle or play with your grandchildren or whatever it is you want. Find pictures of it. And it doesn't have to be on a poster board. It can be on a piece of paper. That is a very, very powerful tool. And I really, really want to encourage y'all to do that this week. Jackie, by any chance, did you do a vision board this week?
No. The only thing close that I have is on my Facebook page, there's a picture of myself with my mom and sisters and my daughter of when I was a lot lighter.
Okay.
And in fact, I felt really heavy then. You know, and I look at it every day.
Isn't that weird how that's true? I look back at pictures of myself when back then I felt heavy. And when I look at those pictures, I think, God, I really wasn't. It's just we get this fat picture in our mind. Why? Because of I don't know why we do that. And it's really not about how we look. It's how we feel. It's about our energy level. It's about, can we squat and get up? Can we get down on the floor with our grandkids? Can we slide down a slide and not get stuck? You know, it's really those things are the most important. But I think having a vision board is something that can become really powerful. So I want to encourage you to think about making one of those. You can just do cut and paste on a computer and just have a Word document on your computer. Lev, do you have a vision board? What makes you happy? Okay, it's what makes you happy. What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? Who is that? The last person that's joined us recently. That's
Mary Jo.
That's Mary Jo. I see you sticking at your tongue, you cutie. Mary Jo, last week did you happen to work on a vision board this week? We talked about that last week online. Okay. So what I'm doing this second week is kind of like a little review. I want to encourage you to weigh at least once a week and write it down, measure at least once a week and write it down, and really think about a vision board to create something that you would be willing to share with us so that we would know what it is you really, really want. The third thing that we talked about last week that we want to continue is to create and begin using the habit of stop, challenge, choose, because we create healthy habits because they help get us what we want. He just recently died, Dr. Robert Schuller. He was a preacher out on the West Coast. He had the Crystal Cathedral, and he was a TV preacher. And many, many, many years ago, I used to watch him a lot. And one of his little quotes that I adopted from him that I loved is called "Inch by inch, anything's a cinch." Dr. Schuller was a real positive thinker. And he wanted, hey, Dixie, he wanted us to focus on positive thinking, kind of like Norman Vincent Peale did. And he's like Dr. Anderson and Dr. Schuller. They want us to realize that the goal is not how fast we get to the top of the mountain. The goal is, do we get there? So it's not how fast. It's like, here's the mountain, and some people are really, they just, whoop, they're there. And they maybe get to enjoy the view and the vista a little bit longer than we do. But those of us who are a little bit slower, the important thing is we're trending upward. We're making progress toward that summit. And inch by inch, or baby step by baby step, we make changes that helps us get there. Doesn't mean we're not going to trip and stumble and fall on one of those stones or rocks or crevices or whatever's on that mountain path, but we are trending upward, inch by inch. Anything is a cinch. And the fourth thing we talked about last week was we summed up our meeting in this way. Our healthy journey is all about progress. It's not about perfection. So with that behind us, and now that we've got more people online with us, and by the way, thank you for being here, everybody. Tonight, I thought we would focus on our fueling plan. Step one, eat healthy, as to why it's important to fuel our body in small meals throughout the day, because it's all about creating a healthy metabolism. I have a story that I've told for years that I don't know if you've heard it before. Bear with me. If you haven't heard it before, I think you'll like it. You all know about sumo wrestlers, right? Mm-hmm. These are those Japanese wrestlers that weigh 500, 600 pounds. They're enormously fat. Did you know that what they do to get fat, what they do to train, is they only eat one time a day? They are not allowed to eat throughout the day. They save up all their fuelings and all their calories to one meal a day, and they eat like 5,000 calories. And unfortunately, a lot of us eat like sumo wrestlers. But ours is a negative thinking. Ours is, well, if I skip this meal, if I don't do this 10 o'clock fueling, I can eat more at lunch when I go out with my friends. Or if I don't eat this 4 o'clock fueling, I can eat a little bit more at supper. So we kind of mentally save up our calories and eat it at a different time. And I'm telling you that if that's the attitude that you choose to take, you're going to get fat, even if you're only eating 1,000 calories a day. You're going to gain weight. It's frustrating. It's so crazy, but that's the way our body's metabolism works. If you'll think about I'm kind of using my hands so that y'all can see, but visualize a straight line going across the bottom of my picture screen. And let's say that's your basal metabolism. It's what the fuel that your body needs to survive. Okay, so our basal metabolism is pretty low when we wake up in the morning because we've been fasting. So what we want to do is we want to put fuel in our body within an hour of waking up. Yeah, you may not be hungry because you overate last night or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't matter. To get healthy, we have to choose to start putting fuel in our body within an hour of waking up. Once that happens, if we are eating small meals throughout the day, it raises our metabolism just a little bit. And then we use that energy up, and as it starts dropping again, then all of a sudden it's time to fuel again. So we put a little more fuel in our body. That's why Dr. Anderson has those 100-calorie fueling snacks listed for us. And those are of us that are on MetaFast. We use a MetaFast meal replacement, which is 100 calories, and we just fuel our body with balanced nutrition, and our body uses that, and then it kind of uses up that fuel, and then it's time to come back up again and fuel again about every 2 to 3 hours. So our basal metabolism looks like this throughout the day. Now, here's the crazy thing. My clients and friends, and you all have seen this too, people that have been on this plan, that have been on this program, who have diabetes. They start off and it's like, boom, their basal metabolism drops. And then they drink some orange juice or something because their blood sugar is so low, and then it goes boom, and it spikes. And then they have candy bar or something, and then it spikes, and then it's like boom, and in an hour or two it drops again, and then they have to eat something, and it boom, and so it's all over the place, and the metabolism is jumping over. I want you to know that if this is your basal metabolism line, every time you fuel more calories than your body needs, that much is creating fat. Eating above the basal metabolism line, it doesn't matter if it's good food or not. If it's more than we need, we are creating fat. So our goal is, let me get my arm up here so y'all can see. Our goal is throughout the day to keep it like this, a balanced metabolism. So how do we do that? Every 2 to 3 hours, we fuel our body. If we put too much fuel in the body that it can't use, our body stores that fuel. How does our body store fuel? Everybody?
Fat.
Fat, right. So we've stored fat. And then we use up some calories, not all of it, but we use up some of it, and it's time to fuel it again. We come up too far above that basal metabolism line, we're going to store those extra calories as fat. Well, the past 20, 30 years, what's happened is our portion sizes have become so much bigger, whether it's through restaurants that we go to eat, or just food on our table, or just having food so handily and readily available to us, we eat more than we need. Instead of having 2 or 3 crackers with our chicken salad, we eat those 2 or 3 crackers, and then when we're through eating our chicken salad, then we go ahead and eat the rest of the package. That's that stuff above the basal metabolism line. That's the stuff that our body doesn't need, and we are actually creating fat in our body, just like the sumo wrestlers do. So I want you to focus on that this week. I want you to think about the sumo wrestler story, and I want you to take actions that promote healthy weight loss. And the way you promote healthy weight loss is following just a few healthy habits. First of all, when you wake up in the morning, drink a bottle of water. when you wake up, before your first cup of coffee, before you eat breakfast, drink a bottle of water. A lot of people like to squeeze a little lemon juice into it, or a little fresh lemon or fresh lime in it. Some people even like to drink it warm, heat it up in the microwave and heat it warm because it helps them with their elimination. But it doesn't matter whether you drink it hot or cold. Dr. Anderson prefers cold because he said it takes more calories to, if the water is cold, it helps you burn more calories. I don't know. That's too much for me. But I do know that the water is what matters. Whether you want to drink it hot or cold, it's up to you. You're really going to get good results either way. The lemon, I don't know, it's just refreshing, makes the water taste good. And whether you drink it hot or cold, just do it before you drink your first cup of coffee. If you don't, you're going to drink 3 cups of coffee instead of 1. So go ahead and fuel your thirst as soon as you get up in the morning. Number 2, eat your first meal or portion control meal replacement for those of you who are on MetaFast within the first hour of waking up. In other words, if you're going to be having poached eggs for breakfast, within an hour of waking up, have your poached eggs. If you're going to have a meal replacement, have that within an hour of waking up. If you're going to have cereal, whole grain cereal with some low-fat skim milk or with some almond milk, I don't know if you've tried that yet, but it is absolutely fabulous, and it's like 30 calories and no fat to use on your cereal. If you choose to do that, that's fine, but do it within an hour of waking up. Somewhere so that you're around 100, 120, maybe even up to 200 calories for your breakfast. You're starting putting a little fuel into your body. And then 2 hours later, you do the same thing again. I'm sure you've all seen on, hey, see Megan's little boy. You're a cutie. And I know that you have seen on the challenge page where Dr. Anderson has listed a beautiful list for us of 100-calorie snacks. These are great ideas for that mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and nighttime fueling snack that we're going to use to keep our metabolism balanced. So one way or another, whether you're using the meal replacements or whether you're using the 100-calorie fuelings, it's okay. Just don't skip. Whatever you do, don't skip. Water and fuel your body every 2 to 3 hours. Okay, number 3. This is gonna maybe a surprise to some of y'all, but do not over exercise. If you're just getting started with your program and you haven't been exercising, make sure, and this is so hard for people like me who are obsessive compulsives, make sure that you start slowly and then increase a little each week. Don't do like me and I'm going to do a 5K, the first week. I go out, I feel myself, then I get sore, and then I don't want to exercise anymore. That's really stinking thinking. Start off nice and slow and easy. Track your progress. Do a little bit of something every day. As a matter of fact, in the beginning, when you're first starting to get into the habit of exercising, it's recommended that you only do about 20 minutes a day for the first 3 weeks, because limiting your aerobic exercise to 30 to 40 minutes a day actually is pretty perfect. Doing more than that is kind of like overkill. As you progress on your weight loss journey, you will, though, want to add weight loss training to that. For example, you may do 20, 30, 40 minutes of aerobic exercise, but then also do a little bit of weight training. If you're in a gym and there have some machines available, especially as we age, we really, really, really need to do weight resistance because weight resistance is what builds muscle. Now, when we start doing weight resistance, always somebody gets bent out of shape because they say, well, I gained weight. Well, I don't know if you've seen this yet on the challenge or not, but if you see a picture of a pound of muscle tissue versus a pound of fat, a pound of muscle tissue takes up about this much room. A pound of fat takes up like this much room. It takes up more space, but it doesn't weigh as much. A pound of muscle tissue weighs a whole lot more than a pound of fat. Fat is airy and puffy and fatty and wrinkly and dimply. Does that help you visualize what I'm talking about? So when you have more muscle tissue, here's the reason why we want it. When you have more muscle tissue, your body is more efficient and it burns more calories. So Megan, people like you, when you exercise, you burn more calories than I do because you don't have as much fat as I do. Isn't that cool? So you want to keep that lean, get to that lean body mass, so that when you exercise, your body is benefiting more from it. So next week, we want to try for about 20 minutes a day of aerobic exercise. And if you've been exercising for a couple of weeks, then it might be time to add some weight resistance training. Today it was raining, so I did my exercise inside. It was so bad. It was so awful, but I did it. And for my weight resistance, I had I found some old weights that I bought probably 10 years ago. And I used those weights when I did my arm exercises and when I did, and I used those weights. And when I laid on the floor and I did my crunches, I used those little weights. If you don't have weights, you can use cans of vegetables or whatever that you got out of your pantry. But that's weight resistance training too. The other thing that I did today and that I'm starting as a habit is while I'm brushing my teeth is when I do my stretching, whether, my thighs and my calves and my ankles and the front of my foot, the back of my foot, and, that hamstring and all that. So I stretch when I brush my teeth. We just want to make sure that we are moving, that we're getting up out of the chair. And ultimately what we want to do is try to find something we enjoy. Now, for me, that's pretty hard because what I enjoy is sitting in my chair. What I enjoy is sitting in my chair and doing nothing. So this exercise thing is a huge challenge for me. But because you guys are behind me, and I have to hold myself accountable to y'all, I move every day. I knew that if I didn't go out and walk today, I was going to have to tell y'all I didn't do it. So I got down on the floor and I did my exercises. So thank you, team, for that. Number 4, make sure you get all your meals in. Don't give in to stinking thinking. You will not lose weight faster if you skip meals or just choose to eat less, because you won't. Skipping meals, remember the sumo wrestler. You want to have a small fueling, 100 to 300 calories, depending on what you're doing on your plan, every 2 to 3 hours. Remember, we're seeking balance in our health, and we're trying to create healthy habits. Number 5, of course, is drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water. I see a lot of y'all drinking your water now. I'm so cotton mouth right now. I wish I'd remembered to bring my water tonight, but I'll go finish my big glass when I get through with this meeting. Number 6, something I want you to think about is when you choose your meals this week, every 2 to 3 hours, be aware of the portion sizes. If you go to a friend's house to eat, or if you go out to eat, they're going to give you too much food. Mother's Day yesterday, we went to a buffet. I tried to be very cognizant of the fact of my portion control. Normally, when I would go to a brunch buffet, to me, a serving is 2 spoonfuls. And then when I eat all that, I go back and get some more. I was very cognizant of a small spoon of the items that I was going to eat, and I took it to my table, and that is what I ate slowly while I visited with my children, my grandchildren. It wasn't easy to do, but the funny thing is that I was completely satisfied. The food tasted good. I enjoyed it. I visited with my family. It was great. When we got through, we took pictures and went outside and played. So but my focus for the day was portion control. Donna, don't go back for 2 and 3 and 4 helpings, especially that good stuff that you want. And I also stayed away from the waffle table, which is probably a good idea. So portion sizes, we want to be aware of that. If you're going to a restaurant, one of the tricks that Chuck and I use is if it's a restaurant that we both like the same kind of foods, we'll discuss the menu, we'll talk about it, and we'll pick something that we both like, and we'll just get an extra plate and an extra salad. So, and then just divide that food in half. That makes it pretty perfect. If you get a full portion size, ask for a to-go tray before you even start eating, and go ahead and divide that portion out right then, so that you can take that half of that. They gave us way too much food. And those of us who love to eat and love the taste of the food, we will eat it even long after we're full. Do y'all agree with that? So go ahead, before you even put that first bite in your mouth, get into the habit of asking the waiter to bring you a to-go tray right now. The number 7 is call your health coach and seek extra support. If you're having a tough time, if you look on the challenge page, what I did was I went through and I wrote in and made any of the certified health coaches that are on the challenge, I wrote health coach in. And you can click on their name and get their email, and you can email them and say, I need to talk to you, give me a call, and we will. You have my phone number on there, so you can call me anytime you have any questions. You've got both my cell and my home phone. Number 8, keep a journal. Whether it's an exercise journal, a food journal, a weighing journal, write it down. It makes us be accountable. Otherwise, if we don't write down, we're, as people who are overweight or obese, are notorious about tricking ourselves into thinking that I really didn't eat that. If I don't write it down, maybe it doesn't count. So the habit of doing that journaling is a very, very powerful thing. Number 9, read Dr. A's Habits of Health. If you do not have a copy of that, I have an ebook. It's called Dr. A's Habits of Health. It's the big book is like 400 or 500 pages. It's kind of like our Take Shape for Life Bible. It's got an index in it and all that kind of stuff. But he has condensed that into what's called the ebook. And if you haven't downloaded that yet from the challenge, send me an email and I'll send you a copy of it. It's where I get my ideas for these little sessions. It's just really good, healthy tips. It's not pushing any special program. It's just talking about healthy habits. I am going to mention this though. If you have not gone to your health coach's website or my website, I hope you will do that, because on the website, there is a link in the support tab. I'll try to post that on the challenge. It is a link to a personal health assessment. It's in chapter 5 of Dr. A's book, but I've got it on my website. And what I really would like for you to do is go to that assessment and take it. It's pretty consuming. It probably will take you about 5 minutes to do it. And if you've been to the doctor lately and you have your results for your blood work, any blood work that you've had done in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you'll want to have that handy so that you can chart that, because once again, we're trending, right? We're looking at our health. Where are the areas that we need to improve to get healthy? And this is a really, really good survey. And when you get through taking the survey, it gives you a score so that you know where you are right now. Now, here's the goal with that survey. Once you take that survey, I want you to take it again about every 3 or 4 weeks. So you can see, am I trending toward health or am I backsliding? And that's a pretty easy way to focus on your progress by taking that health assessment. I'll post that tomorrow when I post on the site. I'll post the link to that. Number 10, if you're trying to lose weight, this is going to blow you away, but would you believe that condiments have calories? Mayonnaise, mustard, salad dressing, oil and vinegar, butter, all of these little things that we do to condiment our food, they have calories.
I count them.
Yeah, you really need to be aware. And so if you're journaling your food, if you want a list of the condiments, I can send them to you. Just email me and I can do it. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, but I sent somebody a list of somebody on the challenge, a list of the healthy, low glycemic vegetables. They're in Dr. A's book, but I made a list. And if you need that, is that you? Okay, Mary Jo. It's a pretty good list, isn't it? And it's kind of surprising if the vegetables, if you're wanting to lose weight and that vegetable is not listed on the list, don't eat it yet. You can add that vegetable back into your diet after you reach your healthy weight. But for weight loss, you want to stick with the low glycemic vegetables. Another thing, for those of you who are counting calories or counting carbs, for weight loss, if you want to lose weight, you need to keep your carbohydrates between 80 to 90 grams a day for your best fat burn. And number 12 is always encourage your friends and family to join you on this journey. That's it for tonight for me. I'd like to open it up for just a couple of minutes to see if anybody has any comments about their week or any questions about their week. And Debbie, we'll start with you. Would you unmute yourself and share anything with you about a success or a struggle that you've had this week? Debbie had a struggle.
Well, I made it through the weekend. We went out to eat and everything, and I did good. And I was down a pound the next morning. So, but then I kind of ate my portion size is what gets me, and I kind of balanced out. Yeah, and that's why it's good to trend, Debbie, because we're going to have times when we overdo, we compensate for it. And when we weigh every day, we sometimes can beat ourselves up about that pound or 2 pounds or whatever. But if on Monday you're here and on Tuesday you're here, even if it's a half a pound or 3/4 of a pound or whatever, if we're trending down, we are not going to beat ourselves up. We are on the right path. Right.
Okay, Jackie, what about you? Any questions, joys, concerns, celebrations?
No, this last week's been pretty good. My concern is the 2 weeks coming up, or the 3 weeks coming up.
Yeah.
Because we're leaving and we'll be traveling the rest of the month. And so, and we'll be
where are you going?
We'll be in Vegas for about a week and then in Scottsdale.
Awesome.
So eating out.
Have you kind of got a plan about how you're going to move during those weeks? Are you going to do something to get a little exercise?
Well, I know I'll get exercise in Vegas.
Okay. that all ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
just walking, it's so far between everything.
Oh, walking. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the plan for there, and we're going to play golf in Scottsdale.
Okay. Have you thought about the importance of water? That's something that's easy to always take with you and have on hand.
And I'm taking some food with me. We're taking the trailer for part of it, but we're driving, so we're going to have a vehicle. So. Oh,
okay. Okay. Good. Well, the main thing is even if you're like, I know you're on MetaFast. If you just bring a MetaFast meal for mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and nighttime, you're not going to gain weight. Because if you eat every 2 to 3 hours, even if it's that meal replacement in between your breakfast and lunch, you're not going to overeat lunch. It's going to be easier to make a good choice because you're not starving.
Yeah. I ordered a lot of things that are easy to carry. Perfect. That don't have to mix.
And yes, perfect. So as long as you have a plan, just relax and enjoy yourself and have a blast.
Yeah.
And we'll miss you, but you can log on online.
I will.
The phone app works really good. Hey,
yeah, I got it.
Hey, Lynette, are you falling asleep on us?
Hey, no, I'm here.
You have anything to share?
Not tonight. I'm doing okay, and I like reading all the posts. On this challenge, I think my favorite part is my story. It just seems more real when you can hear somebody else's battles and their progress and their triumphs. I really like that part of this.
Awesome. I'm glad. I like that too. How about you, Mary Jo? You're muted. Unmute and say hey to us. Tell us how your week has been. If you have any, she's making finger signals. I was playing bridge. There you are. I was playing bridge this afternoon, and my partner made this sign to me. Y'all know what that is? I had read between the lines. I was getting all the points. I was killing everybody. I'm sorry, that was off task. Mary Jo.
I just listening to you tonight. I've been having a hard time after dinner, and I've been getting into the raisins, raisins and almonds, which it comes out in the end, but it's still not a good thing. And
They're good health. They're good. They're good choices. It's just that you need to watch to make sure you're not eating too much.
Yeah. Which sometimes it's like dig into the container and,
Right.
Yeah. So I know I'm taking a couple tablespoons at a time, And I think it's because I usually don't take an afternoon break. And so from the time of my lunch until dinner is too long and I get too hungry. So I'm going to start taking an afternoon break and having a few.
Look on that list of Dr. Ace 100-calorie snacks. Find something that's easy to take with you, that's convenient, that you like, and use that, whether you're hungry or not. If it's been 2.5, 3 hours since you ate your lunch, you have that snack. Then you won't be starving when you get home and start snacking while you're trying to cook some dinner. Yeah.
Which, I don't have a trouble with snacking while I'm cooking. It's after I eat.
After
and I don't feel satisfied or full,
I don't know if this will help you or not, but one of the things I've done this week that seems to have helped me is after I have dinner, I have been going to brush my teeth and put on my gown. Because once my mouth is clean, it's I'm not as tempted, or at least I think about it before I eat something else. So,
got to brush.
Yeah, you got to brush again. Exactly. So I don't know if that'll be something that you just think about it. If it'll help, that'll be great. Hey, Dixie.
Hi. You know what I do after dinner is about 7 o'clock or so, I like